Welkom bij de volgende video van online voor dansdocenten. Om dansdocenten wat meer in beeld te brengen en te weten wat ze meemaken en wat hun gedachtegoed is en hoe ze over het vak denken. Dus ik ben heel dankbaar dat ik hier met jou zit, Soosan. En wij kennen elkaar van de Fontys Dance Academy, Fontys Hogeschool voor de Kunsten. En ik heb jouw naam eigenlijk ever sinds ik in ieder geval met dans bezig ben, met het dansdocentschap, heb ik altijd voorbij horen komen. En ik heb eigenlijk ook altijd goede verhalen over jou gehoord. Mooie verhalen. ja. Verhalen van het hart, zeg maar. En, dus ik ben heel benieuwd om te horen over hoe jij over het vak denkt. So, when you were in a period with your SNDO, you had these new experiences, and what happened there? What was the thing that, for instance, with improvisation, or because you said you love improvisation, and why is it that you love improvisation? What happens when you do that?
I think that again it was the making. The SNDO actually works with instant composition where you perform, and that was not necessarily what I was interested in, but the nature of exploration and improvisation. What do I like about improvisation? For me, it's about discovery. For me,
I'm asking you, so
yes, exactly. I mean, you can. It's more than that, but for me, it's about exploration, and for me, finding things like searching, discovering something that I couldn't have thought of, or that I don't know, or that's new and excites me, or following some kind of. You start with something and you make a digression, and you go here and then you go and you find something very special. It's a freedom, but with a purpose for me. It's the exploration that I like.
And the freedom, is it that you can follow what is wat zich aandient, what something presents in yourself, and then the freedom you can just follow what comes up, or can you tell me more about that freedom?
Okay, the freedom is depending on where you're starting, but giving yourself an assignment, let's say, or whatever. And
some kind of way to
and it's like you said,
some kind of motor.
It's coming from the inside. It's coming from maybe a physical impulse, but
physical impulse.
It can be very much that you're busy with playing with the body, that kind of,
Can you give an example?
Well, I guess I can give you examples. Sometimes something just comes to me that I think, okay, I just have an impulse to move in a certain way, which, and then maybe I just get into that movement. I get into where it's coming from and where it can go to and what I can do with it. And what are the possibilities with this, and what does it say? So it can be that simple. It's just a journey.
What communicates the impulse, actually? You're going to listen to the impulse
listening to it, absolutely responding to it, and letting it feed back, and then me feeding it back. And music, I think, is also quite a big stimulator for me. It doesn't have to be for everyone, but that can help. Or not doesn't help. It actually stimulates me a lot. Even if it's not necessarily I would use music but it's something that it helps me explore. Very much.
En die impuls die dan naar boven komt, can you give an example of different impulses to describe? Or one or two that you've experienced?
It's
so much options.
Yeah, but it's like just a physical. I mean, because it can just happen any moment. I can go into a studio and of course,
just like now.
It can also happen, just in a moment in my home, in my own private time.
And what happens?
Well, I thought you could equivalent to it's like a burst of song. That's it. It just it has to be sung. You know, it's just there, and for whatever reason it's come about, it's a burst of song. You know, it's like, or maybe I'm already thinking of a theme or something because I like text very much. And maybe I'm thinking about a text, and that that I feel like playing with movement with that text or something, and it sounds awfully vague because I'm not saying that I could go into a studio and work very consciously on that, but sometimes the things happen. For me, such an impulse can happen any moment. Or any moment. Usually when I'm focused on thinking about something, and I think I make a shift if I'm busy artistically, if you like, or creatively.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that happens that goes from the head into the body, and there's a listening, and there's a curiosity, and that openness, something begins to happen. I mean, physically, the impulse happens because I create the space for it, and maybe even the stimulus for it, and then it happens.
So, to a little bit to capture what you're saying, is like, I also feel like you say there is something in your awareness, maybe a poem or a text or maybe a life situation, I can imagine, and it suddenly falls into your body, and you make sort of space to let it fall down, and then feed it back, or something like that, or.
I think I'm already put myself into a mind that I'm busy searching for something, and I'm not sure what that is. I mean, it could be anything. It could be that I'm just thinking. It could be simply that I'm thinking about making a lesson, or I'm thinking about a theme for a choreography, or that I'm purely doing it because I need to be physical.
Yeah. Get out of your head, or
yes, absolutely. I mean,
feel your body.
I think that's another point. If you've been busy with your body, or at least using your body as a medium, that if you end up sitting in front of a computer for hours on end, there comes a point when you just want to stop looking at a screen, and there's an incredible impulse to move. That's really happens for sure. I just need to move.
Yeah.
And that can feed back some ideas, and then so it goes on. It bounces off of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe my neighbours across the way from me think that's crazy. I don't know, because it can happen. But for me, that's important. It doesn't always happen when I'm in the studio, but I can also, if I need to go into a studio and work on something, then yeah. But I need to bring myself into that place where there's a listening to the body, and there's also a need to move.
Yeah.
Maybe the need to move is important.
Yeah.
Because I can't make that happen. Well, yes, you have the discipline, the space.
But the body is asking for it.
Yes, that you enjoy it. That's why I say it's like a need to sing.
Yeah, yeah. Like for all of a sudden,
it's like I just need to do this, and I need to feel my spine, and I need to feel, my fingers. I need to feel myself totally. I really feel a difference if I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not an addiction. It's not like I have to do this. It's something which is a kind of balance and a great enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I really don't care what people think.
So wherever you are, or whatever.
I need to do. Well, I mean, what I mean is that people think that I don't need to. Yeah, exactly. Don't need to. Like, I need to do that at that moment. It's not something that it doesn't have to be special. I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And then if you put that in a context of like, let's say, making work or creating lessons or thinking about other people moving, that's where it comes from. That need. If that need's not there, then I wouldn't be able to do the work.
Yeah.
And the work for me is pleasurable. I mean, of course, it's not all pleasure.
But the source is
the source, yes. And of course, it's nice if you're in somebody. I mean, it's a great luxury if you're in another person's lesson or work to be given an assignment.
Yeah.
I only need this. And
off you go.
For me, I mean, it may not be what somebody else wants or whatever, but I I really love that. It's yeah. When talking to you, it makes me it's very clear for me that it's about exploring. Yeah, for whom? I don't care.
You're lovely.
I kind of don't. Well, it's like I just like to do this.
Just like to explore.
Yes.
For the sake of exploring.
And whether I don't know whether that's I don't know. It's I need to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes. And music, well, not sometimes. I need to do it. And if I have periods where I don't move because of work is giving me other demands or my life is asking other things of me, I find a great imbalance of that in my thinking, in my being. It changes the way I see things and the way I experience the world. So I find it quite essential.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually do think it's quite part of us. I mean, to different degrees. And,
You mean of everybody?
Yes, I do to a certain degree. And I see when people are really not aware of their bodies. And I mean, people tend to say, okay, this is an opinion, but I think people tend to see dance as like, you say dance and they think of Netherlands Dance Theatre or they think of the highly trained.
Very far away.
It's very far away, and I think it's very close.
Yeah.
It's very close, and that.
It's just hearing out, look down into your body.
And here it is, and exactly. And to sense, this sensing of having a sense of your body, having a sense of the space, having a sense of presence. A sense of presence, being able to be present, rather, with all that sensory awareness, and that's just never ending. And there's, of course, that's also something which I'm grateful for the SNDO to have introduced, different layers of that, that you can explore.
Can you tell something more about the different layers?
Well, I think a good example of that was when I talked earlier about the formal training. But of course that could be the way that I was approaching it, and the work that we did in the SNDO, which was a lot of listening and sensing and feeling, and in a way I got a sort of selfie, if you like, from inside. That kind of I got a much more understanding or a sensing of my own body and ownership of my
selfie from inside.
Yeah, that's kind of that feels
like
what it was. I started creating some kind of map of, and then there's so much more work I could do on that, or could have done, or whatever. And there's a lot of interesting somatic work which has been is still, of course, available and very important for dancers and non-dancers, for people that will really bring you in another place.
Yeah.
And that's those layers. I think there's still a lot I could explore. I haven't got the time to do that. Or I made the choice for that.
But it's like always going on story.
I think it's continuous.
And the map of your body, the selfie, you just talked about. How can you give more words to that? Is it about awareness of the volume of your body, of awareness of the movement, the way of possibilities in movement of the different body parts, or
I think
what's
I
that
think
about?
For me it's also quite to have a picture of your bone structure, to have a sense of your bones, for instance.
Instead of this is my body.
Exactly. But I mean, if you're talking about most people, you ask them where their pelvis is. They probably, if they're not dancers, do they know? No, probably not. They probably don't even know how many people have a good knowledge of anatomy.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, people do, but not most people don't.
Yeah.
So already that is a basic understanding of what the joints can do, and then the imagery that can come with that, like creating space between the joints, and articulation of the joints.
And what do you mean with articulation of the joints? Like the...
Well, for instance, that you can, if you're aware more of all that, you can articulate the fingers and the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders and the back and in detail.
Yeah. To feel what
feel exactly what it is and how. What parts do you not feel? What parts are a little, where are you not aware?
Yeah, which body parts?
Yeah, and are you aware of holding? I mean, this is getting into more detail. Like, where are you holding? Are you really aware that your parts of your body are holding? And can you accept that or not? And just a sense of sending breath through the body, and really having. Then I can sense not only sense, but have a picture of the inside of my body, and I can sense or imagine breath, space, having a sense of the roundness of the rib cage, the bowl of the pelvis, for instance. It's just kind of that you build through also someone guiding you. I think that always helps. You this sense of your own body, and I think you have more ownership of it.
Yeah.
And you probably have more control, and you'll be able to relax in
Yeah.
when you need to, or to move with the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
But also to enjoy moving with a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Also enjoying the muscles, you know. Like just
To work.
let them work, you know,
Yeah,
and to feel when you're doing that, you know.
Yeah. And to feel the difference with
Yeah.
a lot of effort or
least effort or softening
least
and
effort, yeah.
or having yeah.
But it also sounds like you're really getting at home in your body, like meeting your body and really connecting with the place you live in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally.
Yeah. But I think that's part of a dancer's or dance training. In the broad sense of being involved in dance, that is so essential.
Yeah.
And that journey, you need that journey, no matter what job you're going to do.
Yeah.
Whatever what aspect of the work you do, whether you're going to be choreographing, whether you're going to be teaching, whether you're going to be performing. Even maybe even outside dance, I think, because I don't know whether, I think dance offers that detail to you. And I think even you can see when someone feels more comfortable in their body or not. I'm not saying that I do it all the time, you know, it's that, or that I'm finished work, not at all. But the exploration or the constant searching and connecting, I think really, I love that.
Yeah.
And it is never ending, and there's always different degrees of it. Degrees of it, what is it?
What is it?
Yeah, exactly. It's
in the research,
more,
maybe. Degrees in the research. Yeah.
And so many people have written things about this work. I mean, this is where I see, and maybe I'm making a division here. You know, for me, the Laban work was really sort of analysis, which I found very useful, and this was experiential. The other side was the experiential side of sensing the body, and I think that's what I was missing from Laban.
Yeah.
And I found in the SNDO work in that time, anyway.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate both worlds.
Yeah.
To bring them together. Yeah.
And can you tell me a little bit more about the? I'm wondering, like the process of exploring and experimenting and researching, and you have the creating. The creating of choreography. When does the exploring shift to the creating, or is it at the same time, or how do you see that?
I think the exploration is creating for me.
Yeah.
But if you mean giving it, when does it start taking shape?
Exactly. That's my question.
I think it has a life of its own always. And that's what you have to listen to. I mean, you have a time limit you've got to work in, and sometimes you have to force it. I mean...
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, for instance, if you've got a time limit, you need to have a product at that time, then the exploration period, and for the moment you're going to choose, or you make choices out of that exploration, will be quicker.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't have a possibility because of time to explore and then make choices and then maybe go back and explore again. Or maybe you don't get a chance. Of course, it doesn't go so linear, but it depends on also what you want. Like, and I think that's also quite true in, let's say, it's a bit dangerous to say this, but say in the amateur field, then often there's a lot of products that are wanted. So it's very difficult to be able to show something because it will be judged as a product.
As an end stage.
Yeah. So it depends on your time period, I think, or whether you've maybe already done some explorations and then you want to take that to a group or whatever.
Yeah.
So when is it? I think that's what I mean about forcing it. I think when you're exploring, when is something emerging which you feel is of value, that's so unpredictable.
Yeah. You can wait for it for days
or
years or whatever.
Might just arrive,
or sometimes it's just there.
Well, I think often it comes. I think the exploring always it's worthwhile, and and that it will. That is a process, and maybe it comes at another moment, but it's come at another moment because you did that. Because you did the forework. You say. Yeah.
There, maybe it needs to land or.
Just incubate.
Incubate, and then at another point, for all of a sudden, something else.
Yeah.
Or something more.
Something pops up, I think, from that. You think, oh, this is exciting, and you feel connected to it.
You want to choose for that. That you feel like you want to make a choice.
But I somehow believe once you start on something, that's my experience. Once you start on something, you get, and you put your focus there. Even here, if you focus here, because you have to deal with other things, maybe that. The more you're curious, the more things attract you.
Yeah.
So it's also cumulative, I think. If you give yourself that focus, and it's amazing what you get attracted to. Yeah. Because your focus is there, and things come.
It's like you want to buy a new bike, for example, and you see all kinds of bikes in your. That's how it works. Yeah, the thing you put in your awareness.
Or you suddenly see one. Oh, that's nice.
It's suddenly there.
Or you are drawn to look at things, or you get fascinated by things because somehow you've got this question in there. And so when does it come? Well, you can try to force it, but I think what you need to do is to give yourself the time for it to arrive. Yeah. And to give yourself assignments so that it can arrive.
So don't put it out, but make the right shape,
make the right frame, or give a container for it to land in, at least to allow that, or a framework in which you can. The thing which I think you can get pressured is to, I say, cook something too quickly. If it has to be a product, then this is good. Whereas in fact maybe it needs to be explored again with another layer, and feedback is really important. Yeah,
from other people.
Yes. I think you have to choose for who you feel is right to help you, and when's the right moment. But I think that's really helpful.
There's another pair of eyes is
comes in, and when you feel how can this? Maybe I'm not seeing it anymore, or give feedback, and then you can go back and take that feedback with you. And work further. But that's time consuming, of course. But great. I mean, if you've got the time.
If you've got the time, it's lovely. But I have two questions about what you just told me. And the one thing was when you talk about choreography, or the shift from the exploring to the creating. You also mentioned choice, making a choice for it. Is that an important tool to arrive in the creating process, or
I think creating is all about
choices.
Choices. Always.
Can you tell a little bit more about when are you going to make a choice, or how do you feel when the time is right? What makes your choice that choice?
I think people work in very, very different ways, and I mean, let's say there's two processes here. One is if I'm working with amateurs, I give them, let's say, some material to play with or ideas to play with, let's say a theme to play with. I'm not necessarily moving there, but I've done my own research on the theme, so I know kind of it works if I give myself the assignment, and I'm giving it to other people and I see what they come up with. I like to edit people's material or work with forming it in some way which I think, oh, this is going the right way, I'd like this, or maybe do this or do that with it. So for me, it's something very tangible. It's like you have something there. You've got
what
an
is
idea.
Tangible?
Tangible. You can touch it. You know, it's like
Tangible. Yeah.
So when I can see it, so this is working from the outside. But if I can see it, then I know where I want to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can go that direction, but I've never personally. I don't really have problems with not knowing what to do with something. But that's maybe just a little. I don't know what to call it, a gift. I just feel very comfortable with making choices. And they may not be the right choice, I don't know, but I don't really get stuck with, I don't know what to choose, this or that.
Yeah. But when you choose for something, is it like you feel like the image is right, or it touches you in a way?
It speaks to me.
It speaks to you.
It speaks to me, yeah.
And that's why,
this is it. And that's why I think I'm going to go, this is where I need to go. And sometimes it's a guess, or it's just trying things out. Maybe it's even a structure that needs to be, but that's maybe more heady because you're looking for a line in it. But I just feel this is right. This is it has potential. It's full of, and it speaks.
Yeah.
And so this is it. This is right.
Yeah.
I should use this. And whether it's to do with the performer or the movement or the combination of the performer and the movement, or there's something in there you think you can take further, or it's close to the theme you're working with, but you know it, you recognise it.
Yeah.
But I think you have that in life anyway.
Yes, but
you do.
Yeah, but it's inspirational to hear you talk about it.
Yeah.
I think, because it's, I don't know, it's just lovely to give words, like why do you choose something you choose? You know?
I think you could call it intuition, and so it's very individual why someone would choose this and or choose that. Or, but you feel it's right for you because I know that I'm going somewhere, or maybe I don't even know where I'm going, but I feel
it feels
this is the place to go. I like this. It's working for me.
Yeah.
Or working for me. It has potential to go somewhere else.
But I love the way you say, like, I make a choice for something if it speaks to me. And I wonder, like, how can you give more words to when something speaks to you? What is happening? Do you feel like speaking back or talking with it, or you know, you see something, a beautiful image, or you feel some kind of source in your own research, like, this is it. This is speaking to me. What is happening exactly?
Well, it's when something happens like that, I just feel there's a future.
Beautiful, yeah.
There's a future.
Yeah.
And it's like it opens up something. And
it opens up something.
Yeah. It's not that I know this or I'm repeating it, but it's like a capsule. It opens up and it's a new space. And there's something that can happen, or it's somewhere it can go, or it belongs somewhere. And on another level, something can just stray in, you know, like a stray cat, you know, it can just walk in. So it can also, you know, you can also find something resonates with you when it's unexpected, or chance is a great one, you know.
You mean with chance? You mean like it can happen, but it cannot happen. There is
just the fact that you, for instance, you know, I can give you an example maybe of because we're often working in an international situation and misunderstandings. I can't remember exactly now. There's been some funny ones where someone has absolutely misunderstood what I meant when I asked for something, and it sounded really weird, but it was great. I mean, it's that kind of that. Whoa, that also has a future. It has something so unexpected. It's it's a stray thing. It's like, what is it? It's a kind of odd. Yeah, that. Maybe straight, it's not
the surprise
for it.
The surprise
the surprise or the oddity of it. So, I mean, that's also something which...
What do you mean, the oddity?
Oddity, that it's like you're maybe you're very busy with your idea or what you're looking for, and someone's misunderstood totally what you mean.
Yeah.
And then they're doing something really out of place. But it's beautiful. There's that kind of, just the fact that
there's a beauty in it.
Yeah. And I think that's that whole chance, chance methods or approaches gets beyond the mind and creates things you couldn't possibly think of, and I love that.
Yeah. That's maybe really also the real creative process, that stuff happens you cannot imagine before.
Oh, hopefully. It always.
That's it. But I love to give words on it. Because all kinds of teachers are watching from all kinds of So I love to give words on everything. But that's the thing, that you have space to allow stuff to happen that you cannot ever.
For me that's the excitement. I mean, if I can picture something before, I'm not interested. I mean, I have a sense of a kind of work. Let's say I'm interested in something, and I have a sense of maybe the atmosphere or what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to come out like that. I don't know what's going to emerge, but I stay with what I'm interested in. And that doesn't have a form. And if it did, I couldn't work with that. I couldn't create something I've already got a big picture of. That wouldn't be, for me, that wouldn't be interesting.
Because everything is locked already.
Yes, and you're only going to be disappointed anyway, because, it's just impossible. I mean,
all those expectations.
How it should look or what you think you're going to make.
And then it doesn't work, or you're struggling on it, or whatever.
And I think, it depends on whether you want to, I don't know. On the other hand, I think when you have an idea, or you have a need to make something, or a desire to make something, or you're stimulated to create something, there is a sense there of a flavour maybe, or something that you feel wants to come out, and then when something appears, that's when you begin the dialogue with what is there. Where do you go with this, and what are the possibilities with it? And if you're working with other people, they bring in their thoughts on that, and what they're adding to this, and so something starts forming. But I think, depending on how you create, how you work with that, and if you're working with amateurs, how you're working, let's say amateurs, or whatever dancers you're working with, but how they're working with you is where it's going to go and where it can go. But I think you are in control of that. You are guiding that. If it's not a project where everyone's got ownership and a say in everything, then if you're the person guiding the creative process, then you're making the choices and reading it and listening to it and putting input and taking care of whatever is emerging, to care for that and feed it and see where it wants to go, and be able to make the choices. Of course there's 100 choices you can make, but you say no to that and yes to that, and you follow that, and then you say no to that and yes to that, or So I think you really need to make choices. Now, of course you do, but the ability to be able to make choices and some really lovely creative souls find it very difficult, and it stays in this very creative place, but actually it's not readable.
En de toegang wordt minder.
I think because the choices you're making. Well, I think maybe. I don't know. This sounds. Now it's getting judgmental because I'm just going along my road because I'm sure there's lots of other possibilities, and it also gives a possibility for. Depends on what you want to create and what kind of creator you are, whether you direct the eye of the audience or not. But even if you're not, you're still making choices. You have to make choices. And if you're someone who makes it difficult to make choices, then you're probably not going to enjoy creating.
Because you're constantly confronted with making choices.
And then you can't make a choice. I don't know what to do. Too many options.
Go to the next level, or to feel like this speaks to me, so I take this and then I go from there to there, or
maybe for those people everything speaks to them and they don't know. But then I think, well, okay, maybe it's I would say go back to your original concept, and then from there, where do you make choices? And if it's all good, then okay, just you can't use it all, so make a choice what you are going to use and what you're going to put in. I don't have that. That's something I don't have a problem with, but maybe that can also be my shortcoming. Maybe I don't have a problem with making choices.
Your talent or your shortcoming?
I don't know. It could be both. I don't know.
It could be both.
I love to be given options. Give me multiple questions. Let me choose the ones I want, I have more of a problem maybe, well, if I don't get any choice. Even then, I'll make my own choices. So, I think.
Je werkt heel erg samen met je dansers.
But with choices that I'm making. Yes, I mean, they're delivering, I'm asking them to.
En kan je iets meer vertellen hoe je hun voedt met ideeën om van start te gaan in their research? Want je wil natuurlijk dat zij een soort van onderzoek aangaan. En kan je iets meer vertellen over hoe je hun dan die voeding geeft? Om ze tot in beweging te krijgen?
Well, it depends on every project and also who I'm working with.
I can imagine.
For instance, with let's say with amateur dance, I'm more likely to give them some material as a how-fast to begin with.
To play around with?
To play around with. I'm usually introducing what's interesting me, first of all, and I think also open the floor and say, we're going to take off, but I don't know where we're going to land, because
be very open about it.
Where I am. Try to feed them with what's been interesting me. And actually, I'm mostly make the assignments or give them. It's in the moment with what I'm busy with. I don't think I could repeat one because it's coming out of where I am and at that moment and with who they are. You mean
with what kind of a theme or a subject or what you have in your awareness, what you want to bring onto the floor?
Exactly.
And from there you start giving them assignments or
where I see the
challenge them or.
I'm looking for something in particular, which again is this like I'm going to recognise it when I see it. It will have a future, and then I'm just trying different stimuluses to get that to emerge. Actually,
and that different stimulus.
It can be. It's funny because I really make those up. I really create those in the moment. And to repeat them because there's something that happens and something springs off of something else. Actually, sometimes it can be very simple. And the first assignment it's not really anywhere near where I want to go, but it's a starting point, and then to add another layer, and then to add another layer, or even depending on who they are and what the subject is. And sometimes using film, showing something
to get them going,
or to learn something and distort it, or to use it as a stimulus.
Starting point, motor,
And it's always about generating material and a lot of editing. It's a bit like editing that and working again on it, and actually constantly trying to create this seed or the material that you think, even a scene, you think, yes, this has got future. And I was like, it's trying to find that, and you thought, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the essence of this, and from there I can take something further out. You know.
So you give them different, you approach it from different angles, you give them different things to work on, and then you just wait for the moment. Almost
keep pushing. I mean,
keep pushing.
Keep coming with stuff, and I'm quite concrete, depending, especially if I've got little time to do it in. Then
because I think that's a very interesting process to have the time to explore different different things in choreography. I think in this time for a dance teacher, it's a pretty challenging place to go. And that's why I'm so happy to speak with you, because you are only working in that direction. And I think it's very important for us dance teachers in this time that we stay aware of the fact that we give ourselves that freedom and that time to do that, to explore, and also to challenge your students to go to that place and to find that exciting insecurity of researching, not knowing, and so that's why I think it's very inspirational to talk with you, and everybody does something with it on a different way in his level and in his what he can do with it. But I think in this time we're so used to making material and give the dancers stuff to do, and this is it, and
it's a very that in a way that's a very, what the habit of that is, it's very consuming. And
you mean the dancers are very consuming?
The dancers are very consuming, but it's also you're feeding that. You're also consuming.
You're feeding
yourself.
that exactly. You're feeding that process. You stay in the circle and in the loop.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
Give yourself, and I think to take care of yourself. And I really believe that if you're going to continue to teach dance and become interested, not to become interested, but to be interested in what you're doing and to care about it, you need to care about yourself. And caring about yourself is about taking care that you have the time to really, I believe, to have these moments of reflection and also researching and exploring and listening and feeding from other sources. Otherwise you become a kind of vending machine, you know? It's just like churning out and I think that I think that's very unhealthy. If you want to have a career that's going to last, I think then you need to feed yourself as well, and that you stay. Well, I think you need that. I think everybody needs that creativity, depending on what level you want to go to. You know.
Exactly.
That's
very open.
It's where you want to go.
You can do it like this or like that or like that. You know, it's.
But
like
to be aware that it's there.
And
for you, it's for you to take the step towards it. I feel quite passionate about that actually. I think as a teacher, and whatever field you're working in, I wouldn't say duty, but I mean, I think we're in another generation. We're in another space. And I think it's really helpful, especially in this day and age, to. I mean, even if you're working with people, let's say I work with adults and who have jobs, they work hard, of course you can think of dance as formal and technique and I mean they can aspire to wanting to do that, but I think you also do a favour to your students if you give them the time to go inside. I mean, also give them the space to just, even if it's small. I don't mean long meditations or something. I just mean the fact that, that I think in this time, I know it's an opinion of mine. I think it's such a consuming attitude we can have, but to give yourself also that time, but also give that to others.
But when you say go inside, do you also mean with that that they have more time to explore things? Is that what you mean?
No. I mean, for instance, if you have somebody, let's say you have a group for 1.25 lessons, which 1.25 hours, right, for a lesson. Okay, they're coming from a very busy life and nothing. I mean, we're working with our bodies, but most people are not. And you know, I really see that with more computer work. How much I think, how do people sit behind computers for so long?
Yeah.
How do they do that? You know, we're not getting, I mean, I end up doing it too, but I feel terrible. I mean, my body feels terrible afterwards. So I can see how. But let's say, even if they're not, that they come into a lesson, so they're not dancers, but they, you know, this is community dance, if you want to, just to reboot. Just let's let go of the day. Let's. Where is my body?
Yeah.
Where is my body now? At this moment, and what does it take? 5-10 minutes for a lesson? I know that's a lot when it's only 1.25 hours, but I think that
or 1 hour mostly.
Oh, it's even shorter. Yeah. But I mean, just have that moment of
awareness and
being
in the moment.
But it's a beginning.
Yeah.
And I know, of course, there is, you know, and there's very good work going on where also for. I don't want to sort of categorise people. Let's say people who are not dancing all the time in their lives. It's not their career, but they're very interested in it. Well, there are longer periods of time to explore deeper, workshops that are available for people who do, you know, for people who are interested to go deeper. But on a regular lesson, just to introduce that in a very small way. Yeah. Of course, there are. As I say, there are techniques or methods which are only around that, which are also available for shorter amounts of time. But I found it important. Yeah,
but actually we talked about the last few minutes about two different things. About when you making a choreography with a group, to give yourself time to go deeper into the exploring phase and to give your dancers different stimulus to also to explore. But I think it's very important to make time for that.
Yes.
I almost feel with the classes I teach, the style and the classes I teach, I need to do like, you know, really make time for that, and don't be afraid that the students are being bored or
that's always a fear, huh?
That's the fear of this time.
Yes.
Because you know, with the Facebook stuff, like when you don't like the first few seconds, you just keep on going. So it's really fast, like a fast. People get fascinated very hard, maybe, or maybe it's sometimes it's far away, and to make them fascinated about what you do and to bring them really into the moment to explore and to you know to make them excited about exploring. That's what I wanted to say, actually. That's what I want to go through, because that's what I hear in your story, because you are very excited about exploring and about researching and different angles and different inspiration sources. And that is what you can give to your students as well. That inspiration to have hopefully to make time for research.
Yeah, to give themselves the time that it's not only about
the end result.
Not the end result, but also not just consuming.
Yeah.
It's because they go. It's also okay to consume.
Yes, of course,
but it's that you will in the end get more out of what you're consuming if you make the space for it to land.
Yeah.
You know, I was also learning on the outside, and then you just get the form, and it can look really good and cool and whatever. But if you take the time to really let it land on the inside, then I think you take it to another level too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for everyone,
no.
Esther.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not. I understand that. But I think in the end, it's what gives quality.
Yeah.
And even in community arts or amateur arts, whatever you want to call it, believe not only do the people get more out of it, but if they perform or when you see them move, it's so much more beautiful to watch.
Yeah. And how do you think you can create the space that it lands?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing of that. I think first of all, I mean, just being aware with a simple constructive rest beginning, you know, just laying on the floor in constructive rest and just taking a moment to let go of the day. You know, just coming into the body.
Yeah.
And not walking into a space like there's the mirror, there's you, just to close your eyes even. And it's about coming into the body. It's about making a relationship with your body, because dance is about the body. It's like that's what it's about. So you need to have a relationship with it.
Yeah.
But I know it's not for everybody, this.
Yeah, but I think er zijn gradaties in.
Yeah,
you know?
precies.
You can choose like, I want to do it like this, or I want to do it like that.
You can bring elements of it in, and I think if you've experienced it yourself, you can also see the depth. I mean, I think you can also achieve it by repetition. So, again, seeing people do something over and over again, they can repeat it. But if it's not repeating, but it's searching, you know what I mean? Like they're doing, let's say, a combination again. They can just try and do it again, but then you just see a repeat of something. It's not really growing.
Yeah.
Or that they're searching for something extra or deeper, or that can also work.
Yeah. And what are they searching for?
Well, I think really deep physicality, whether they're aware of it or not.
And how do you get there?
To get to deep physicality. Well, understanding what being physical is. So, understanding or experiencing that. That's why I say, you need to. And I think we're all aware when we're in our head, and we're all aware when we're deeply in our bodies, and you feel there. You feel you're there fully. And so, let's say you're learning someone else's material. Of course, first of all, you're on the outside. You are on the outside because it's and of course you can look and try and pick it up from the inside. But gradually, you look. That's what you're looking for. Is okay. What is? If you want to reproduce it, or maybe you don't want to reproduce it, but you want to understand it, and how can you put yourself in it? Then you're already reaching different layers, so that you can really understand, and enjoy physically what it feels like inside that material.
Yeah. But I found very interesting, like when does a movement land into the body? You know, what is the what happens when that happens?
It moves you.
Wow, that's
it moves you. Yeah.
So you are not doing the movement, or you're not moving the movement.
It's moving
but
you.
the movement is moving you.
Yeah.
It also feels like you're letting in the movement. When when something moves you, it's not a choice. Maybe. Just like if it speaks to you, it just speaks to you. But
well,
you give the
space. It's a process. I think that there's a process. It's
you might give
there's a kind of marrying, or isn't there? That kind of you allow it in. Yes, I mean I think
you give space
for it to be there.
To let the movement arrive into your system or into your body.
Into your system, I think, and that it is in your system. I think that's actually a good word, the system. Somehow when you say that, I think, then it's really in your system. Then you, it sounds very spiritual, but like you and the movement are one at that point.
Yeah.
And maybe there's nobody leading. I don't know. But that's, you know it, everyone knows it. Everyone knows, maybe that's the dance moment.
Exactly.
Actually, it's like,
I'm searching for that, to put it in words from your perspective. From,
it's really.
It's about what's dance. Actually, is that the question?
And that's something. I mean, I know. When I see that, yes, now you're dancing. And you know people know they are.
Yeah. You see it and you feel it as a dancer.
Yeah.
You see it as
You see it from the outside,
audience.
and you can also see it, and then you really see it.
And what is that?
Well, I do think that's when you're not looking for it anymore. That you know, the material and you are really one at that moment. It's in your system, and it's working as one, and it's about a beingness, I think, at that moment.
Yeah, you're being moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're still enough there.
Exactly.
You
need to be a little bit on the wheel,
yeah,
steering.
Exactly. So it's a combination of those two things.
Steering.
And I think that's why we all get addicted to dance.
Yeah.
When you find those moments.
When it takes over.
Yeah. And when you see, I think when you're teaching, you can really see when it's not there. When you can really see that it's about trying to make it happen.
Yeah. And what is your reaction when you see that?
Well, depending on how many people are doing that, or if it's is to try and go back to sensation, and certainly say it's not a step.
Yeah.
Let's get away from that. You've got to find what is this about actually.
Yeah.
You know, try to get them into the feeling of it.
Yeah.
If you say feeling, often people go into emotions. It's not necessarily emotions. It's more sensory. Being aware of space.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, of course, some material is emotional, it has an emotional content to it, and that's great. But you don't put that on top. You don't
it's not like a slagroom.
Yeah, it's like I need to put
it's like the basic
I need to give this expression.
Yeah.
It's like that it will come from embodying it or letting it land. The expression will be there.
Yeah.
You'll know.
What do you need as a dancer to really embody the movement?
I think you need yourself. I think, what do you need? It's a certain approach, which is not wanting to replicate it, I think, to reproduce it, but to be in it. And I think you need that desire. Yeah.
The desire to be in the movement.
To be really, to really be inside the movement.
Inside the movement,
have ownership of it.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to achieve it or replicate it, but you have ownership of it, and maybe you even add something to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And how, as a dance teacher, can you stimulate your dancers to do that?
Well, actually, the way I do it, and maybe that's too simplistic, is repetition. I mean, that sounds really like, repetition, but and with also verbal information each time. That's different for everybody. What I can see is not really there, or there's not awareness enough. And music, of course, helps with it. I think if someone's really like, if they're enjoying the music, or then
that
the
helps.
movement comes absolutely. Yeah.
So if you don't see it, you're gonna do repetition. So you're gonna just repeat.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say what I don't see, and maybe I'll stop and talk about it, and then let's do it again, and until I see that dance moment. And
if you do it again and you don't see it, and you do it again and you still don't see it.
Well, I will. Let's say I will just keep going in different approaches. And maybe I have to give up and think, okay, this really needs, and then I have to think about it, like, why
is it not?
Why is it not there? Why are they not able to get it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what is it they need?
Yeah.
Or what is the energy today that stopped that?
Yeah.
Or didn't achieve it? Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
But it's also, it's also true even if it's not. If I haven't even created the material, really, if I see it, you can sometimes see what's missing in someone's body or approach or whatever, why they're not getting it, or why the material's not speaking. There's something about stop wanting it. Like something about like.
You mean as a teacher or as a dancer?
Well, I think maybe as a dancer, that to want. maybe there's a wanting somewhere there, wanting to be beautiful, wanting to be, not wanting to be, but
wanted to know it.
Wanted to know it, or to execute it, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think somehow that has to go out the door. Because that's curiosity is needed.
Not expectation.
Yeah.
But curiosity.
I think curiosity is so important to
stimulate your...
How do I get in there then? What does it, And imitation, of course, is a way in, but the curiosity has to be there.
Exactly, yeah. The curiosity of the inside of the movement.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
And
exactly.
how can you stimulate that as a dance teacher with your students?
Well, I think I think people would disagree with me here, but I think just try to get them away from that consuming attitude. And into a curious attitude and a listening attitude, or a listening body.
And how can you...
Not a consuming body, maybe
Yeah.
not a consuming body, but a curious body.
Yeah.
A searching body, a sensing body.
And how can you stimulate that with your students? To come in that other learning mode? That's what it is?
I think you need to know it yourself. I think you need to give yourself that time, so that you give yourself the time also to explore and to be curious yourself. And then you will know how to get your students there. Because I don't think there is one way.
No.
And I think everybody has their own particular way.
Yeah.
Your own method or entrance is can help someone else, but they need to find their own way. What stimulates them.
Yeah.
But you are an example of that. The way that you start a lesson, the way, or a workshop, or a project, your approach is going to have a big difference.
Yeah.
Is it going to affect the way? And of course people will leave. You can't please everybody. Well, some people can please everybody, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but I understand what you mean.
I mean, if this is your value, then you need to stand behind it.
Yeah. But I can also imagine, if I look at my own dance practice, that I can have like a few weeks of a different approach to just awaken a certain, a certain awareness with them. And then I might maybe going back to what we used to do or whatever, but you build a new awareness, and you can always go back to that. Maybe
you will go back to it as well. It's like kind of going back
exactly.
Forward and gradually cultivate this attitude,
exactly.
and you notice it when you have a newcomer and you've been working with the group for a while.
Yeah.
And you notice that someone from the outside comes in, and you see the difference. That person is not. You see all the unawareness of unawareness. It's newness.
Yeah.
And you see where your group is.
Different.
But you see that.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah. So actually, you're saying like what you want from your students, you need to also discover and embody yourself.
Absolutely. I don't think you can teach what you don't embody.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's and then again standing behind what you find, what your values are.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah. But I think it's very interesting that you say, because I know a lot of teachers sometimes are struggling with what they see with their students, because you need to find ways to approach them in a different way. But you can also think about it like what you don't see, you need to embody more in yourself as a teacher, so that you can give them ways a journey to,
or to come back into contact with that. Okay, because you put so in you, you've forgotten maybe how did you get there. So to remind yourself of what is that entrance, and to stay, because you have the information.
Yeah.
It's finding a way of delivering it.
Yeah.
You need to contact yourself again if you really find. I mean, it can be that the students are too far away from what you want to teach, and then you've just got to think, okay, I have to start really, and are these the right people for me, or do they need another sort of teacher?
Yeah.
That's also something you have to let go of sometimes.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's really important to stay with what you value and to work with that.
But I think there are different, again, gradaties in.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you don't get what you ask from your students. And then from that's your starting point to do more research and to find another way. And then, it's like research.
This is also
give yourself space to research.
And be curious, like, how can I get this?
Yes,
Where's the
yes,
entrance?
yes.
With these people, because with another group of people, you might find a different entrance.
Yeah.
It's not always the same one.
Exactly.
It's not only one door.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Well, Soosan, thank you so much for your inspiration.
Thank you for your questions.
Yeah, lovely to speak with you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much.